what do you want your community to look like by 2030? Sterling Heights residents had a chance to give their input at a community visioning fair held at the Sterling Heights Senior Center on December 12th. The City of Sterling Heights is embarking on a planning process to establish a clear direction for its future through the creation of a new land use master plan and parks recreation plan and non-motorized master plan. And it is currently seeking the input from residents and business owners on what they see as the vision for the future of the city.
Well, Sterling Heights has a great reputation for planning and being very proactive, and I think the results speak for itself. We have a great community, it's very vibrant, and we're always looking toward the future, and that's what this effort is all about.
At the Visioning Fair, residents were given a chance to take an in-depth look at some of the proposals and voice their opinions.
Yeah, I'm very interested in finding out about the non-motorized plan. As an avid biker myself, I want to see what the city can do to help people throughout the city connect to our parks and to connect to our trail systems. And then come up with some ideas for better recreational opportunities for people of all ages, families, seniors, everybody in the city of Sterling Heights. So we've got all that going on here, and it's good to see what our options are.
I think some of the plans that we have in mind are great. They're going to be great attractors for families moving in and attracting, retaining our residents. I'm really happy that we are giving residents the opportunity to come out and voice their opinion on what they would like to see and what they would think would make Sterling Heights a better place to live.
Well, I see this as an opportunity for us to make some decisions on our residents' investments and their investment. Biggest investment they have might be is their home, could be a business, and what can we do to make sure that we secure the value of their home, that we're inviting to the business community where we can have businesses want to be in Sterling Heights. The other thing is that there are so many opportunities for development, and I don't mean just the industrial retail that we talk about or even the residential. It's parks, it's non-motorized transportation, which I think is getting to be the norm now. People want to be able to walk from one place to another. They want to be mobile, but not necessarily in a car. So I think those are the things that we have to concentrate on now as we bring in younger people. We've seen a trend where at one point, we were becoming an aging population as far as homeowners, and we see the trend going in the other direction where people with families are moving into the city. How do we continue that movement is that we attract young people so that in the future Sterling Heights is just as vibrant for the next generation as it is for us right now. So I think those are things that we need to concentrate on. I'm starting to look at, being on city council, like being a financial advisor, because we might have people that would come in here and say, well, gee, I don't use this and I don't use that. But, if you've ever been to a financial advisor and they start investing in things, it's not maybe a product that you use, but a product that they know is going to be beneficial to your resources in the future. So they're making an investment and making the best decision that they can in order for you to be secure financially. And I think that's what we're doing now, is that people might say, well, I'm not going to use these trails, or I'm not going to open up a business. But it's making the same decision that will secure your financial stability as far as selling your home to the next person. So I think that's why I'm going to look at this now, as we're being a financial advisor for people sitting at home watching us.
Well, I think this is first of all, this vision session is a wonderful opportunity for the residents to come and provide their input, because that's what we need. We have our perspectives, but it's important that the residents come because they live in the community also. They live in their particular areas, and it's really good input for us as we update the master plan for the community. That's going to be a part of the overall vision for the city of 2030 vision. That's the report that's been out.
As part of this planning process, the City of Sterling Heights is seeking citizen input through a community comment map. This online mapping tool has been established to allow citizens, property owners, business owners, and other interested persons to share their thoughts and opinions. The mapping tool allows users to provide comments related to specific locations within the city, while also viewing and interacting with the comments of others. The community comment map can be accessed by selecting the link that's available on the homepage of the city's website, sterling-heights.net. Velocity recently paid host to a very important visitor. Presidential hopeful and Ohio Governor John Kasich, on a recent fundraising trip to Michigan, stopped by the Sterling Heights Incubator. Leaders of Velocity and a few members of the City Council were on hand to greet Mr. Kasich, who immediately requested a sit-down meeting to discuss the goings-on at Velocity. The Ohio Governor then toured the facility and learned of just a few of the small businesses located in Velocity.
It's interesting because their cyber program, which has increasingly become a major issue for companies in our country, the fact that they can accommodate small business to come in and figure out how they can be secure is something I'm particularly interested in. Maybe there's an opportunity for Ohio to either partner or obviously to learn about the effectiveness of a program like that. That's pretty good.
Glitz and glamour could be found at Birmingham Jewelry as they celebrated 40 years of service within the community. Gregory Polobiasin was born in Syria and at age 19 moved to France, where he honed his skills in the art of jewelry. Soon after, he moved to Michigan and opened Birmingham Jewelry in Birmingham, Michigan. He eventually moved his business to Troy and finally settled in Sterling Heights, where he's been for the past several decades.
Well, I was in Troy before, after I moved from Birmingham, because situation came that I had to move from Birmingham because the bank bought the building that I was leasing. So I found a place in Troy. About 10 years I was there. Then I searched around. I came to Sterling Heights to try, and I liked it. Finally, I got this. It used to be a bank.
Birmingham Jewelry has grown into a family business, with his wife and daughters heavily involved in the company. With friends, dignitaries, and family on hand, the longtime chamber member celebrated a ribbon cutting commemorating 40 years in business.
Give good product, be nice to people, give them what they ask for or better, and quality work. I mean, it speaks itself, you know.
To celebrate such an important anniversary, Birmingham Jewelry is having massive sales throughout the holiday season to give thanks to customers that have supported them all through the years. The Macomb Center for Performing Arts recently hosted Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel as he delivered his State of the County address. 1,200 people were in attendance for the presentation that started with a video highlighting President Obama's September visit to MCC.
Now, regardless of your political views, I want you to think about this for a moment. The 44th President of the United States was in Macomb County. He could have been anywhere in the world, but instead he stopped by Macomb Community College, not to talk about politics or stump for votes, but to discuss opportunity and promise. The President said, everybody deserves a chance to make it. And that is exactly how we see Macomb County.
The warm, friendly feeling did not last long as Mr. Hackel attacked the President's decision to take back its armored personal carrier.
I couldn't disagree more. It's not about image. It's about ensuring the safety of the people who ensure our safety. If an act of terrorism, or if there's an active shooter in a mall or a school, it's not the military who responds, it's local law enforcement who are your first responders. 10 years ago, the federal government gave local law enforcement these armored vehicles to protect our officers when they face these all too common situations. This vehicle carries, it has no weapons on it.
Mr. Hackel highlighted the gains in the county. Home values have increased by 20% annually, and Macomb County experiences an average of 19 new residents a day since 2010. Another highlight was in presenting where Macomb County ranked nationally in manufacturing growth. The $13 billion industry ranks third in the country.
And let's not forget about that billion-dollar investment Fiat Chrysler made in the Sterling Heights assembly plant. That facility was targeted for foreclosure, but now it's one of the most modern plants in the world. And just last week, we learned that Ford is also planning to invest $1 billion in its 2 Sterling Heights facilities. Think about this. 3 separate billion-dollar investments by 3 world's largest companies. I can't think of another county in the country that can lay claim to that kind of investment and that kind of commitment to making a community their home.
The city recently purchased a house across the street from City Hall that will soon be demolished. However, before the home comes down, the SHPD and the SHFD will have a chance to do some training there to hone their skills. Sterling Heights Police Department had their first crack at it.
Today we have our tactics training this afternoon at the home here located on Dodge Park, where we're going to conduct some explosive entries as well as search warrant entries.
The Sterling Heights Police Special Response Team trains monthly to keep their skills sharp while constantly evaluating tactics to ensure the best possible outcome when the team is called out to a real-life situation. The opportunity to train in a house the team has never before been in is a rare benefit to the training experience.
It's very hard to find houses within the city or bordering the city that we can utilize to train with our tactics and apply them and make sure what we're doing is effective and is what we want the outcome to be. So it's great to have a house to be able to actually use to do mechanical breaching, which is using a ram to knock a door down to get into a home, depending on the environment situation.
The PD will be having one more training session at the house before handing the keys over to the fire department. Taking advantage of situations like this help to ensure that Sterling Heights Emergency Services remain among the best in the state. And moving on, one of our local elementary schools got to be part of an important trial program in making classrooms high-tech. Google Expedition, which allows virtual journeys to outer space, deep ocean basins, and active volcanoes, is a product they hope to have in every classroom in a few years. Google designated Black Elementary as one of its pioneer schools. 2nd to 5th grade students got to experience what they previously learned in textbooks.
The students learn from this because they're allowed to take field trips that they wouldn't be able to take. Going to other countries, going to famous U.S. landmarks, going under the sea, into space. So they're able to actually visualize different things.
The visual aid that Google Expedition brought to the classroom amazed the young people as their attention was focused solely on what they were learning. With these special goggles, with each turn of the head, they explored the different regions 360 degrees, both laterally and horizontally. The teacher would guide the students to each place using a tablet. Sterling Heights FOP Lodge 118, in cooperation with the Sterling Heights Police Department and Target, recently held its 17th annual Cops and Kids program. Shortly after 8 in the morning on December 12th, a crowd of volunteers and members of Sterling's finest gathered inside the Target on 16 and DeQuinder, prepared to take part in a special holiday tradition. The Christmas Cops and Kids program is designed to assist area children and their families get a little something extra during the holidays. As the children arrive, they were paired up with Sterling Heights police officers and given free rein to spend approximately $100 on anything they wish.
Merry Christmas.
Do they feel comfortable?
Yes.
Do you love them?
Yes.
Every year we get a pretty good large group of kids together that the department picks out through different sources. And the FOP and donations from businesses and citizens, along with the FOP, take these kids shopping. And we get, each kid gets $120 to go shopping. We kind of recommend that they buy the necessities, but every once in a while they buy toys and stuff. But It's a great function, and it's a great way to improve our community relations.
It really makes me happy to be part of the city of Sterling Heights. Like always, we have a tremendous police department that keeps our city safe, and they go above and beyond the extra mile to make sure that our residents feel appreciated. So the people who don't have a lot this holiday season, our cops are stepping up and helping them out. It's really a great thing.
Mom. Mommy.
While the SHPD looks after the young ones in the community, they also want you to be aware of a scam that's been perpetrated on residents of the community. We'll take a look at that immediately following the Sterling Report. Till next time, and till next year, take care.
Usually they're in the form of a phone call. People pretending to be IRS or a law enforcement agency, and they make threats that if the person doesn't send money via a MoneyGram, Instagram, prepaid cards, that type of thing, then there's going to be some action taken against them.
You have one old message. This message is intended to contact you, and I'm calling regarding an enforcement action executed by the U.S. Treasury intending your serious attention. Ignoring this will be an intentional second attempt to avoid initial appearance before a magistrate judge or a grand jury for a federal criminal offense.
They're going to come and be arrested. People are coming to their house, and once they start this payment, then typically they receive payment, they're going to get another call and say, we need more money now, and it goes on from there. Once they get their hooks into you, they're going to try and ask for follow-up and ask for more. Typically these calls are being made via the internet, and so you'll get random numbers that pop up that could look like they're stateside. Typically they're coming from overseas somewhere. The best thing that you can do is hang up. If you don't recognize the person, if it's not somebody that you know, say they're pretending to be IRS or pretending to be a law enforcement agency, hang up the phone. They can always contact us if they have a question. We'll help them to determine if it's a scam or if it's not, so feel free to call, of course. It's very difficult to investigate these types of cases, and typically the money is going overseas. It makes it very difficult to prosecute. We don't have jurisdiction, we don't have the resources to pursue those things overseas, but don't hesitate to call. If we have information that we can help you with, of course we'll do that.